Peace, peace, peace. Love, love, love. Unity, unity, unity. Community, community, community. Family, family, family. Unity, 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 unity. Family, family, family. Unity, unity, unity. Peace, peace, peace. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for tapping in. Thank y'all for subscribing. Today I'll be today is 12/16, so December 16th, 2024. It's 5:05 a.m. So today I'll be reading two books, and I'm gonna shout out this man right now. And his name is Marvin Taylor. Shout out to Marvin Taylor. He blessed me with his book yesterday. So shout out to you, Marvin Taylor. This is a book called The Mid-Range Theory, a comprehensive history of basketball mid-range shots with exclusive workouts. That's tough. So go out there. It should be on Amazon. Let me check if it's on Amazon, because I'm gonna get him right now. Let me see. Amazon. Okay. Called Midway. The mid range theory. No. Yep. It's on Amazon. For $20. Yep. Theory, elevating your game beyond the art. So shout out to Marvin Taylor for blessing me with this book. So let me get into it. I'm gonna start from the beginning. This is good. Prelude. Welcome to the mid-range theory. Hello, players, coaches, and basketball. The mid-range theory, a comprehensive of basketball mid-range shot with exclusive workouts, mastering the game's most versatile skill. Meticulous unpacks the lost art of the mid-range basketball. This book contains a rich blend of historical insights, technical breakdowns, and strategic frameworks, which is designed to refine your skills and understanding of the game. It doesn't matter if you are a weekend warrior, the mid-range theory acts as a transformative tool, shedding light on the overlooked potency of mid-range mastery. It offers practical, easy-to-follow advice on perfecting shot mechanics, footwork, and positioning, empowering you to navigate and exploit the mid-range space with confidence. Embracing these principles can not only elevate your personal game, but also enhance the overall competitiveness and enjoyment of your pickup games or recreational leagues. Aspiring amateurs and collegiate athletes will find this book a strategic compass that guides the integration of mid-range proficiency into a more comprehensive basketball skill set. The mid-range theory includes how to well-honed mid-range game can make players more adaptable and difficult to defend, providing a competitive edge in the high-stakes environment of advanced play. It underscores the importance of versatility and adaptability, attributes that college scouts and coaches often seek in a rising talent. For the professional player, this book offers a counter-narrative to the prevalent analytics-heavy approach on the dominant modern basketball strategies. It presented a compelling case for the strategic incorporation of the mid-range elements. Illustrating playbook, the mid-range encourages professionals to reevaluate and diversify their game, potentially uncover new pathways to scoring and team success in an era where defenses are increasingly optimized to defend against the three pointer and drive to the basketball. I mean, drive to the basket. The golden era of the mid range. The golden The golden era of the mid-range game could be identified as spanning from the late 1970s to the early 1990s. This period begins with the NBA adoption of the three-point line in the 1979-1980 season, a time when the three-pointer was not yet a central part of basketball strategy, allowing the mid-range game to thrive. It extends through the 1980s and into the early 90s, a time characterized by a rich diversity in playing styles and a period before the full impact of the analytics movement began to significantly alter team strategies and player skill. The introduction of the three-point line in the 1979-1980 season did not immediately transform the game. Instead, it instead oops instead it coexists with a strong emphasis on the mid-range game. As players and coaches continue to value shots from this area, players who excelled in the mid-range game during this time, such as Alex English and Bernard King, showcased the effectiveness and artistry of mid-range scoring. Late 1970s to the early 1980s, the introduction of the three-point line. Introduction of the three-point line in the 1979-1980 season did not immediately transformed the game. Instead, it coexisted with a strong emphasis on the mid-range game. As players and coaches continue to value shots from this area, players who excelled showcase the effectiveness and artistry of the mid-range scoring. The 1980s, the heyday of mid-range mastery. The 1980s are often celebrated as the peak of the mid-range game golden era. This decided featured some of the most iconic mid-range players in basketball history, including Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. These players, among others, were master of the mid-range shot, using it as a key weapon in their offensive arsenals. The era was marked by a blend of athleticism, skill, and strategic play, with the mid-range game serving as a crucial battleground on the court. In the early 1990s, the transition period. By the early 1990s, the game began to evolve with the emergence of more three-point shooting and gradually shift in the offense strategy. However, the mid-range game remained a significant element of basketball, with players like Michael Jordan and Karl Malone continuing to demonstrate its value. This period served as a transition phase, where the roots of the mid-range game were still deeply embedded in the sport, even as the seeds of change were being sown. The mid-range shot has stood as a testament to the sport's rich tactical depth and artistry of its players. This chapter has delved into the history of the mid-range game, a strategic ballad played out within the confines of the three-point arc and beyond the paint's immediate reach. It is here, in this intermediate space, where legends carve their niche, showcasing finesse, footwork, and an uncanny ability to score against the odds. The mid-range game's significance cannot be overstated. Serving as the backbone of basketball strategy during its formative and golden years, it was a time when the game was less about the binary of layups and long-range bombs, and more about the nuisance chess match between offense and defense. The mid-range shot was the knight in the chess match, versatile and unpredictable, capable of delivering victory in the hands of a skilled practitioner. To understand the mid-range game is appreciate basketball evolution. In the early days, Before the three-point line reshaped strategies, the mid-range shot was a staple. It was a go-to move in the clutch moments, a reliable source of points when the game was on the line. The court midsection was a battleground where games were won and lost. The mastery over this area was hallmark of the game greats, crafting the canvas of mid-range artistry. The golden era of the mid-range basketball was not just defined by individual moments brilliance, but by a collective adherence to a philosophy that values precision, grace, and intelligence. The mid-range game in this context was a keen to canvas, offering players a vast expanse to showcase their creativity and skill. Players and coaches alike reverend the mid-range area for the strategic versatility. It was a zone where the defense could be dissected with a well-placed jumper or cunning dribble leading to an open shot. The mid-range game demanded a comprehensive skill set, combining shooting prowess with the ability to read the game and react instantaneously to the shifting sands of defensive step-ups. This period was marked by the legendary figures who were not just athletes, but artists of the mid-range. The game was a blend of physicality and poetry, with every dribble, pivot, and jump shot contributing to the narrative of a match. The mid-range shot was the signature, a move that could demoralize opponents and electrify crowds. These players understood the geometry of the court, using angles and space to create scoring opportunities where none seemed to exist. The tactical depth of the mid-range game also enriched the coaching playbook, offering a multitude of schemes designed to exploit the mid-range area. Coaches become maestros, orchestrating plays that utilize screens, cuts, and passes to open mid-range shots for the players. This strategic interplay, preparation, and innate understanding of the game's nuances, making him a formidable force on the court. The stage is set. In the 1998 NBA Finals pitted the Chicago Bulls against the Utah Jazz. In a highly anticipated rematch of the previous year's finals. With the Bulls leading the series 3-2, Game 6 presented the opportunity for Chicago to clinch their sixth NBA championship in 8 years. The game, held in the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, was a fiercely contested battle, reflective of intense rivalry between the two teams. The final minute. As the game entered the final minute, the Bulls found themselves trailing by 3 points. It was in this high pressure scenario that Michael Jordan brilliance shone brightest. First, he scored a quick layup to bring the Bulls within one point. Then, stealing the ball from Karl Malone, a play that showcased Jordan all-around prowess, the stage was set for a moment that would forever be etched in the NBA lore. The mid-range masterpiece. With just over 5 seconds remaining on the clock, Jordan, isolated against Brian Russell on the left wing, used a crossover dribble and a slight push-off to create a slight push-off to create separation. And a fluid motion emblematic of his entire career, Jordan rose up and released a mid-range jumper. The shot taken from just inside the three-point line sailed through the net with 5.2 seconds left, putting the Bulls ahead by 1 point. This shot was a testament to Jordan's strategic use of the mid-range game. In an era increasingly dominated by three-point shot and analytics, Jordan's decision to go for a mid-range jumper in the final seconds was a reminder of the effectiveness and reliability of the mid-range game in a clutch situation. His ability to create space and his confidence of his mid-range shot selection underlined the importance of having a versatile offense game. The legacy and impact of Jordan's shot in Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals not only sealed the championship for the Bulls, but also solidified his legacy as one of the greatest clutch performers in the history of the sport. This moment highlighted that mid-range game's strategic value, showcasing how mastery over the aspect of basketball could influence the stakes high stakes games outcomes. Make sure y'all drink that water, your teas, and your juices. Fresh squeezed orange juice. Thank you, baby. That iconic mid-range shot by Michael Jordan. Oh, if I just tapping in, shout out to Marvin Taylor. He blessed me with a book yesterday called The Mid-Range Theory. It is on Amazon. I just checked it out earlier. It is on Amazon. So, looked like he released it on April 1st, 2024. So, thank you, Marvin Taylor. The iconic mid-range shot by Michael Jordan in the 1998 NBA Finals serves as a powerful illustration of the mid-range game, enduring relevance and impact. It underscores the importance of balance, versatility, and precision in basketball, qualities that the mid-range game amplifies. Jordan's clutch performance in the Game 6 is a lasting tribute to the golden era of the mid-range, a period marked by moments of brilliance that continue to inspire players and fans alike. Jordan's approach to the mid-range game was both an art and a science. He possessed an uncanny ability to create space for his shots, utilizing a repertoire of fakes, pivots, and fadeaways that made his movements seem almost choreographed. Each move was calculated, designed to outwit his defender, and find that silver of space necessary to get his shot off. His fadeaway jumper, in particular, became one of the most iconic and unguardable shots in basketball history, a testament to his skills and creativity in the mid-range. Excuse me. Beyond his physical abilities, Jordan's mental acuity set him apart. He was a student of the game, constantly analyzing his opponents and adapting his strategy to exploit their weakness. His basketball IQ allowed him to anticipate defensive schemes and adjust his game accordingly, often staying one step ahead of his competitors. The mental edge combined with his physical talents made his mid-range game just not effective, but legendary. Jordan's impact on the mid-range game extended beyond his individual success. It influenced an entire generation of players. He demonstrated that the mid-range era could be a wellspring of efficient scoring in an era increasingly focused on the dichotomy between the rim and the three-point line. His success from the mid-range challenged prevailing notions of basketball strategy, showcasing the value of versatility and balanced scoring approach. In clutch situations, Jordan's reliance on his mid-range game was most evident. Time and again, he turned to his mid-range jumper to seal games and secure championships, earning him a reputation of the ultimate closer. These moments immortalized in highlight reels in basketball lore, serving as enduring examples of the mid-range game effectiveness and critical role in defining the outcomes of pivotal contests. In essence, Michael Jordan's mid-range game was a harmonious blend of physical prowess, strategic genius, and unyielding will to succeed. It was manifestation of a broader approach to basketball and life relentless, innovative and executed with unparalleled excellence. As we explore the mid-range game, place in basketball evolution, Jordan's legacy serves as a beacon, illuminated, um, illuminating the path for those who seek to master the essential aspect of the sport. Kobe Bryant, and it's 5:24, and most of y'all watching me is on the East Coast, and it's 8:24. Interesting. Kobe Bryant, the inherent genius. Kobe Bryant, off the scene of the heir to Jordan legacy, embraced the mid-range game with a passion that matched his predecessor. Bryant's dedication to the mastering every nuance of the basketball led him to develop a mid-range game that was both beautiful and deadly. His footwork, particularly his use of pivot moves and fakes, was exemplary, allowing him to create shooting opportunities in the tightest of spaces. Bryant's fadeaway jumper became a signature move, a weapon he wielded with precision and confidence in the most pressure-filled moments. Kobe Bryant, utilized of the mid-range game, was a hallmark of his career, providing numerous memorable moments that showcase not just his skill, but his strategic acumen on the court. Let's dive deeper into the specific instances where Kobe's mastery of the mid-range game was on full display, breaking down his intricacies of each play to understand blend of technical skill, mental toughness, and the moment decision making that defined the legacy. Game 4, 2006, playoffs against the Phoenix Suns. The game tied in Florida. With the game on the line, the seconds ticking away, Kobe drove towards the basket, navigating through the congested lane. As two defenders coverage on him, Kobe maintained impeccable balance, executing a high arcing floater from the mid-range area. This shot showcased his ability to adjust his shooting technique based on his defensive pressure and the spatial constraints of the mid-range zone. The game-winning buzzer beater. In overtime, with the game tied, Kobe received the ball on the top of the key. He used his jab step to create space from his defender. Then he pulled up from the mid-range just inside the three-point line. The shot, a testament to his confidence and proficiency in the mid-range, sailed over the outstretched arm of the defender into the basket as time expired, sealing a crucial victory for the Lakers. Game 1, 2009, NBA Finals went to Orlando Magic's. In the opening game of the Finals, Kobe's mid-range game was a focal point of his offense onslaught. One notable play involved Kobe coming off a screen at the elbow, receiving the ball in stride. Without hesitation, he rose for a jump shot, utilizing a split second of separation from his defender. That play highlighted Kobe's understanding of screens effectively to create the mid-range shooting opportunities, as well as his quick release and accuracy. January 22, 2006. Game against Toronto Raptors. That 81-point game in a historic performance, Kobe's mid-range game was instrumental. One standout moment occurred when Kobe, isolated on the wing, performed a series of jab steps to gauge the defender's reaction. Recognizing a slight retreat from the defender, Kobe capitalized on the space, pulling up for a mid-range jumper that added his memento point tally. This play exemplified Kobe's ability to read defenders' movements and explore even the smallest openings, underscoring the psychology chess match between the scorer and the defender in the mid-range area. Each of these instances demonstrate not just Kobe's physical ability to make shots, but also his deep understanding of game nuances. His mid-range mastery was not solely about athleticism; it was about leveraging timing, space, and defender positioning to his advantage. Kobe's legacy in the mid-range is a testament to the blend of art and science in the basketball where mental preparation, strategic insight, and technical skill coverage to create moments of greatness. Dirk Nowitzki. Okay, nope, I stopped there. Okay. I appreciate that, Marvin. I really do. Thank you for allowing me to, for you blessing me with this book, The Mid-Range Theory. It is on Amazon. Go check him out. Look like he released this book April 1st, 2024. So shout out to Marvin. And I'm about to get into the next book in 1 minute. 12, 16, 4. Make sure y'all drink out water. Make sure y'all drink out teas, and juices. Thank you to my baby with the fresh orange juice, freshly squeezed. I appreciate that, I really do. Oh yeah, she gave me this too. Shout out to her again. She gave me this immunity elderberry blood orange. Okay, baby. She put elderberry juice, blood orange juices, apple juice. So I appreciate it. Shout out to my baby. She be hooking me up. Go to her YouTube. That's Dion's Life. DIONNE' Life. That's on YouTube. Dion's Life. Go check her out, y'all. She's crushing it. She got big numbers. I'm trying to catch up. So I'm going for one. Make sure y'all share this video. So I'm going from 1 share to 10 shares, 10 shares to 100 shares, 100 shares to 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares to 10,000 shares, 10,000 shares to 100,000 shares. Y'all know the rest. I'm going from 100,000 shares to 1 million shares, and it all starts with you. So thank you for supporting me. So the next book, I probably already saw it. I was trying to do a little surprise, but it's so amazing that Marvin was talking about Kobe. And I got this book yesterday, and yeah, got it, bought it. I went to I was with the fam yesterday, and we was at Target, and I was just walking around and thinking what book should I get, and look what I got. Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality. So let's dive in. Tough. Oh no. Oh my boy Bron. I'm sorry. You see Dwayne Wade's face? Joel Anthony, Mario Chalmers. Antoine Walker. Wow. Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality. High play. The Fort by Paul Gasol. The introduction by Phil Jackson. Photographs and afterword by Andrew D. Bernstein. I remember when I was a kid, I got my first real basketball. I loved the feel of it in my hands. I was enamored with the ball that I didn't actually want to bounce it or use it because I didn't want to ruin the pebble leather grains or perfect grooves. I didn't want to ruin the feel. I love the sound of it too. The tap 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 of when the ball bounces on the hardwood, the crispiness and clarity, the predictability, the sound of life and light. Those are some of the light. Those are some of the elements that I love about the ball, about the game. They were the core and root of my process and craft. They were the reasons I went through all that I went through. Put in, put in all that I put in. Dug as deep as I dug. It all came back to the special tap, tap, tap that I first grew infatuated with as a boy. Forward by Paul Gasol, teammate from 2008 to 2014. In February of 2008, my life changed. It was a pivotal moment in my career as a basketball player, but also in my life away from the sport. My path aligned with one of the greatest players to have ever played the game I loved. Just a few hours after being told that I'd been traded from the Memphis Grizzlies to the Los Angeles Lakers, I was a cross-country flight to LA. As an opposite, as an opposite a city as you can find, the next morning I had to go through a mandatory physical in order to finalize my trade. The Lakers were on the road, and I couldn't wait to join my new teammates. So as soon as my physical was over, I got on another plane to Washington D.C. Kobe called me that morning, asked me to meet up once I arrived at the Ritz Carlton. It was my it was past 1 a.m. when I finally got to my room. Shortly after I heard someone knocking on my door. It was Kobe. To me, that was a tremendous demonstration of a true leader, and our meeting had a huge impact on me. Instantly, the message was clear. There was no time to waste. The moment was now. Let's go. Let's go get ourselves a ring. His mindset was unmistakable. It was all about winning. One of the qualities that has made Kobe so successful and always will is his attention to detail. Excuse me. He always used to tell us, if you want to be a better player, you have to prepare, and some more. His dissection of the game was at another level. I'm a player who watches a lot of tape. I like to watch my opponents' latest game to see how they are playing at the point that I am about to face them. But Kobe knew if but Kobe took it a few steps further than that. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were in Boston during the 2010 finals, and I got a text from him. He wanted me to come to his room to show me a few clips of how the Celtics was covering the pick and roll and how we should attack it for next game. I know for a fact that degree of detail, both in the preparation and study, was a key factor in us winning those championships and many of the successes that Kobe achieved individually in my entire career. I never seen a player as dedicated to being the best. His determination is unplayable. He he unquestionably worked for harder than anyone else I ever had played with. Kobe knew that to be the best you need a different approach from everyone else. I remember a time when we got together as a team to have an annual dinner right before the playoffs. I was sitting next to him as we were getting ready to leave. He told me he was going to the gym and get a workout in. As much as was very aware of the amount of extra time he put in outside of regular work hours, it was always shocked me how disciplined he could be even during a relaxed situation. When everyone else was thinking it was time for bed, His mom was telling him it was time to get ahead of the competition. Over the years, a lot of people have wondered how difficult it must have been to play with Kobe. It wasn't really, it really, it really wasn't. All you had to do was understand where he was coming from, what he was about, and how badly he wanted to win. He would challenge players and coaches to match his intensity, his desires to bring their very best every single day, not just at games, but at practices. Two, Kobe wanted to find out what he was made of. What were you made of? And if he could count on you to help him win, plain and simple, I will always be thankful to him. He brought the best out of me as a basketball player, and he made me a stronger person too. Our time was truly invaluable. I'm the oldest sibling in my family, and I always try to be an example for my two younger brothers. Challenge them when I think they need to be, and praise them when they deserve it. Kobe is the closest thing to an older brother for me. He never hesitated to tell me things as me, challenge me as long the way so I could give my best all the times. Through the best moments, but especially during the harder ones, our bond only got stronger, and we have always had each other backs, just as brothers would. Enjoy this magnificent book, which reflects some of the what I have shared with you. The qualities of the extraordinary person. I have no doubt that you would be inspired. Introduction. Warning. If you're going to invest your time reading this book, be prepared for an adventure and a high level of basketball. It will certainly offer a deeper understanding of the detailed and dedicated way Kobe Bryant approached the game. It's one thing to have talent, but another to have the drive to learn the nuances. James Naismith is credited with having said basketball is an easy game to play, but a difficult game to master. This is a window into the mind of someone who mastered it. The combination of Andy Burstyn's exceptional photograph and Kobe's insight might make you a better player if you are inclined. Kobe came into the NBA with a desire and talent to become one of the greatest players of all time. He achieved that goal through his dedication and perseverance. The opportunity to play for the Lakers, a historic franchise, gave him the audience and formed, but his level of success came entirely from within. Kobe and I first met in 1999 at the Beverly Hills Hilton. On the day I was formally announced as the Lakers coach, we were we were in a suit. Before went down to meet members of the press assembled in the ballroom, Kobe wanted to impress upon me how happy he was to have the opportunity to play in the triangle system and how much he already knew about it. He was already a student of the game and had studied various aspects of the offense. He 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 was 20 years old, sounding like he'd been a pro for a decade. But by nature, the triangle offense is confining and disciplined. There's a little room for a player to just go rouge. It was a planned, proven way to play. Push the ball up court and look for early shot. If it's not there, build the triangle. Read how the opponent defense is going to react. Attack their weakness and apply your strengths. My twin sons are just 1 year younger than Kobe, so at that point I had pretty good perspective on young men and their varying ability to focus on tasks. I had also had the privilege of coaching a number of players who had said the same thing during my tenure with the Chicago Bulls. Even at that young age, Kobe kept it true to his word about being a student of the game. Kobe actually broke a bone in his wrist the very first game of the preseason that year, and he missed the first 14 games. We had gotten off to a good start without him, and I was concerned that he might require some breaking time to fit into the mix. It wasn't a problem. He kept the team winning as his first priority, and we kept rolling. A month or so after he returned to active player, I received a call from Jerry West. He wanted to relay a conversation he had with Kobe. Kobe had to ask him how he and Elgin Baylor had both been able to score 30 plus points a game while sharing the ball on the same team back in the 1960s. After Jerry probed a bit, Kobe admitted he was worried he wasn't going to score enough points to become one of the greatest players in the NBA. This concerned me because as a coach, I didn't care about how many points a player scored, only the final numbers on the scoreboard. But Kobe knew that. But Kobe knew what he was capable of doing, and felt limited by our system. That clash had all the warning signs of becoming a problem. Of course, there was a real substance behind this job. He went on a total of 33,643 points in his career, ahead of Michael Jordan and just behind Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The first year, Kobe played alongside Ron Harper, a two-guard system at the top of the floor. They were in charge of setting the table, recognizing when the fast break was over. Secondary action was limited, and it was time to set up the triangle system. Naturally, there was always a temptation to push the envelope, and sometimes Kobe would go rouge. He'd break from the plan to create an opportunity for himself, and he would jam up our offense flow. So we had a conversation about not trying to take over the game. We also had film sessions centered on what skills made a guard a good playmaker. In retrospect, Kobe was a patient with me. I was with him. We tolerated each other at the result that he came to understand how disciplined our team had to become in order to win. That converted championships. As much he loved to score, Kobe usually or intruded, knew or um, intuited what right thing to do for the team was in the moment. The Lakers has been a bridesmaid for the past 2 seasons, winning a ton of games but getting swept out of the successive playoffs, sh- shouldering the pressure that came shouldering the pressure that came with the history. Kobe, of course, made the plays. The Lakers got over the stigma of coming up short and went on to win 3 championships in a row. Each of those was dramatic and full of memorable games and moments. Kobe was the driving force, while Shaquille O'Neal, the great Diesel, was the focal point of our offense. Get the ball to the big fella. As we said, the group of Lakers went to 4 finals in 5 years, in essence, creating a dynasty. The next segment of Kobe's career was when he was when his maturity took place. After Shaq Kobe era came to a close, he became the senior statesman for a team that had lost all of its other starters via retirement or trade. He was the major thrust of the team and is normally leader, perhaps by default. And leadership is a tough thing to master, especially when you know a championship is beyond the reach of your personnel. At one point in time, at one at one point in the early years with the Lakers, Kobe and I stood together before practice and watched 5 of our other players holding a shooting contest. It was similar to the game Cat, where a player had to mirror and match the shooter before him or was eliminated. They had asked me to hold off the start of the practice because the game went around the arc, using both corners, both wings and the top. I asked Kobe, competitive as he was, why he didn't play against the teammates, and he said it wasn't because he wasn't a 3-point shooter, but in the year that followed, he was determined to fix that. During the offseason, Kobe worked diligently on his 3-point shot. It was always about the details, And in the 2005-2006 season, Kobe went off, averaged more than 35 points a game, leading the NBA scoring. He had become a scoring machine. I could go on listing records and accounts of his scoring prowess, but this, but that was, really a side note to Kobe's evolution as a player. My staff would meet at 8:30 a.m. At our facility before the practice or game to prepare for the coming day. More often than not, by the time I pulled in, Kobe would already be in the park in the car, already be parked in the car next to my designated spot, taking a nap. He would be in the gym way before that, maybe 6 a.m. to get his pre-practice workout done before anyone else showed up. That was the trademark of the final 10 years of his career. Kobe led by example for his teammates. They couldn't keep up, but they were always challenged by the example he set. In 2007, I met Kobe to discuss the Olympics in China. The team was packed with stars and practiced together with the summer in preparation for the next year, when they would go on to win the gold. My message to Kobe was this: if you go do the extra off-season things, you must recognize you only have a certain amount of time left on your legs. Practice is not a big concern of mine. You know the system. I will give you as much time as you need between games to recover if you would keep your leadership intact by being present. He would do so. He would do his physical therapy while the team went through the skills and drills, and he come into the court when competitive action commenced. He encouraged his team, and sometimes he played through the coaching role for the second unit. I was watching Kobe go through extreme routines to get himself ready to play games, and thought there might be a window of 5 or 6 years left in his career. Again, he changed the landscape, and determination to extend to his physical prime blew out the norm. He played almost 10 more years of the NBA high-intensity basketball, which stands as a measurement of his character. The photographs in this book are a testament to the manner in which Kobe has thought about the game. In fact, the way Kobe approaches basketball has prepared him for the next phase of his life. One of the book, one that already looks as interesting and intense as long careers with Lakers. Phil Jackson was the coach 1999 to 2004, 2005 to 2011. Process. Ooh. When it came to basketball, I had no fear. What I mean by that is, if I wanted to implement something new into my game, I see it and try incorporating it immediately. I wasn't scared of missing, looking bad, or being embarrassed. That's because I always kept the end result, the long game, in my mind. I always focused on the fact that I had tried to, I had, fact that I had to try something to get it, and once I got it, I had another tool in my arsenal. If that price was a lot of work and a few missed shots, I was okay with that. As a kid, I would work tirelessly on adding elements to my game. I would see something I like in a person or on film, go practice it immediately, practice it more the next day, and then go out and use it. By the time I reached that league, I had a short learning curve. I could see something downloaded and have it down pat. From the beginning, I wanted to be the best. I had a constant craving, a yearning to improve and be the best. I never needed any external force to motivate me. During my rookie year, at first, some scouting reports said I wasn't tough. The first time I went to the basket in games, I get hit and the defense will think they had me. I come back. I come back the very next play and pick up an offensive foul just to send them a message. I didn't need that extra push to be great. Through though, from day one, I wanted to dominate. My mindset was, I'm going to figure you out. Whether it was AI Tracy events or if I was coming up to play LeBron, Rush, Steph, my goal was to figure you out. And to do that, to figure those puzzles out, I was willing to do way more than anyone else. That that was the fun part for me. By the time I reached the league, I had a short run. Yeah. This is Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality. I did Bob. I did biblical workouts. I started lifting weights at 17. When I got in the NBA, nothing fancy, just basic time tested lifting methods that focused on strengthening one of my group muscles at the time. Over the over the over the meat of my career, whether we were in season or it was or it was the summer, I would lift for 90 minutes on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. When I say lift, I mean heavy, hard, can't feel your arms type of lift. After that, I could go into the gym and shoot. Over the years, my routine might have changed some, but my philosophy never did. If something had worked for other greats before you, and if something is working for you, why change up? Why change it up? Embrace some new fad. Stick with that which works, even if it's unpopular. My mindset, my midnight workouts have become a thing of legend. They was all, they were always purposeful. They were they were born from a mix of obsession and real world responsibilities. I always felt like if I started my day early, I could train more each day. If I started at 11, I would get a few hours rest for 4 hours, and then I get back to the gym around 5 to 7. But if I started at 5 a.m. and went to 7, I could go again from 11 to 2, 6 to 8. By starting early, I set I set myself up for extra workout each day. Over the course of summer, that's a lot of extra hours in the gym. At the same time, starting early helped me balance basketball and life. And when my kids woke up in the morning, I was there. And they wouldn't even know I had just finished at the gym. At night, I'd be able to put them to bed, then go to work out again during my own time, not theirs. I was willing to sacrifice my game. I wasn't willing to sacrifice my game, but I also wasn't willing to sacrifice my family time. So I decided to sacrifice sleep, and that was that. Film study is all about detail. From a young man, from a young age, a very young age, I devoured film, and watched everything I could get my hands on. It was always fun to me. Some people, after all, enjoy looking at watch others and happy figuring out how the watch works. It was always fun to watch, study, and ask the most important question: why? The biggest element that changed over time, however, I was a, I was went, however, was I went from watching what was there to watching for what was missing and should have been there. I went from watching what happened to what could have and should have happened. Film study eventually became imagining alternatives, counters, options, in addition to the infinite details of why some actions work and others don't. I'll stop there. All right. Thank y'all for tapping in. Thank y'all for spending your morning with me. I did 2 reads. The first read was from The Mid-Range Theory, Elevating Your Game Beyond the Arcs by Marvin Taylor. The second read I did was Kobe Bryant, The Mamba Mentality, how I play. Both books was powerful. I'm gonna keep on reading them throughout the day. And y'all know what it is. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like button, heart button, whatever y'all want to do. Is all love over here. You know, we promote peace, love, unity, community, and family. You know, so go to my wife's channel as well, Dion's Life. She's doing an excellent job. We doing wonderful things. So get with us, y'all. If y'all got any questions, concerns, put it in the comments. DM us, inbox us. If you have a book you want me to read, or if you have a book that you want me to have, I greatly appreciate it, and I'll do my best to get it up on my lives. Until next time, y'all, man. Peace, 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 and peace.